If you were filthy rich, what's a totally unnecessary but cool and outrageously eccentric thing you would buy? I've thought about this. I love my house. It's a quaint medium-sized 60-year-old home. Old enough to be made of good materials like copper wiring and actual wood, but not old enough that it's falling apart. If I suddenly struck it rich, I'd have hard time leaving my home. Don't think I could raise it and build a big home on the lot. Wouldn't keep with the neighborhood aesthetic. Instead, I'd buy the house next door and the house directly behind. Then I'd excavate the land in between and connect them all with a massive underground basement. It would have all the modern perks. An indoor pool, a games room. I might even renovate the main floor of one of the extra houses into just 3 or 4 massive bedrooms. I'd cover that all back up with earth and grass and gardens and stuff, so from the outside it still looked like 3 separate houses, but inside would be my super house. I would love an automated front gate. When I drive down my drive, water fountains would shoot over my car in an arch like them from Roller Coaster Tycoon. What a welcome home. I'd go all out and get the Jurassic Park gates. I've always wanted a wall-sized aquarium with glow-in-the-dark jellyfish. I didn't know I wanted this, but now I want it. Not sure about your username, but I would like one of those as well. What about me? Not attractive enough. Next. A level D flight simulator with an interior built for Elite Dangerous. I didn't know I wanted this. I played around with the idea to use a voice commands thing. That would also be cool. I would buy a Humvee complete with a turret and gun on top, but instead of bullets it would shoot out obnoxious amounts of silly string. Occasionally I would swap it out with spray cheese ammo. Can we start a fundraiser? Go fund my fun MV. WinRAR, the most generous man in history. I think the WinRAR creators are the most generous people in history. Penguins with black bow ties. That sounds delightfully redundant. An island in international waters where I can found my own country, just enough to sustain 10k people, including visitors. It would be a mixture between tourism and scientific development. Basically a benevolent Bond villain. Hovercraft. I'm too rich to have a bumpy ride. Fuck potholes, that's what poor people taxes fix. I want to float everywhere, even across water, like Jesus. Bookshelf that spins around when you pull on a specific book, but instead of revealing a cool Batcave type of thing, it's just the laundry room. Can you imagine trying to pull the book while holding a laundry basket though? RIP my dude, LOL. As if I would carry my own laundry. That's Alfred's job. Langer Burger Basket went out of business, so I want to buy the Langer Burger Basket building. It sold for $1.2 million 2 years ago and is up for sale again at an undisclosed price. I want it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I want it. You could put all your eggs in it, in one basket. You never do that. T-Rex skeleton as a living room ornament. I'd have a stupidly large garage with exotic and basic as fuck cars in it. Over here is my McLaren P1 and my 1985 Toyota Cressida. A massive glass greenhouse as a connected room in my house. Give it a Victorian gentleman explorer kind of vibe. Big exotic plants and trees everywhere. Scattered birds and small fauna. And a small pond in the center. Also, a small cottage for my silent and dedicated gardener to live on site in. Build a house. Yep, that's my weird/eccentric idea. Build a house with weird twisting hallways like the Forest Temple from Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, with secret passageways built into bookcases, false walls, huge portraits and turning fireplaces. Certain walls would be mechanical to allow them to retract into other walls to make new not hidden passageways, making the layout ever changing and labyrinthian. I would invite friends and family over and torment them, running between the different passageways and messing with them. And when I would be alone, I would torment my cats and watch them not care. I'd pay a Scottish guy gobs of money to just follow me around and echo everything I say. For instance, if I were to say "man, I'm thirsty," he would yell "bring the good sir water" or something like that, because that's funny to me. "Jesus man, your finest water or I'll shove your heat up your anus ya prick." Something like that. I'd build my own cinema so I can have the perfect cinema experience for every single movie. That would include the best snacks mankind has ever made, and I would occasionally open it for other people for free. I'd probably pull stunts like the rich dude in Rat Race, offer lots of money as prizes for people to do crazy things just so I can look on in amusement. For inspiration, look up Charles Vance Miller, a Canadian prankster who put weird clauses in his will, like giving a house in Jamaica to 3 men who hated each other if they would live together in it. His will was also the start of the Great Stork Derby. He willed a ton on money to the woman in Toronto who gave birth to the most babies in the 10 years after his death. It was a 4-way tie between mothers who gave birth to 9 each, gave brewery stocks to prohibitionists, etc. Start an aerospace company called SpaceY. Eat it, Musk. Buy a bunch of arcade machines, pool tables, air hockey tables, etc. Let the neighborhood kids come over and play for free after school gets out. Have my friends over for beer and games after I kick the kids out. Don't profit. It's profit enough to see people enjoying themselves. Edit. If you live in a place where a generous neighbor would be labeled a pedo, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but living among paranoid hysteria reigned one. 7 kids who were born on the same day. Would that day have to be October 1st, 1989? The moms would have to start the day not pregnant as well. I'd go sailing on my yacht with my giraffe friend. With money, you can certainly buy a yacht, and you can buy a giraffe, but you cannot buy a giraffe's friendship. I'd hold a contest where people who live in really bad HOAs could submit their horror story, and I'd choose a winner where I'd buy their house and then proceed to do absolutely everything I could to violate the HOA rules. Grass needs to be 2 inches. Mine's gonna be 3 inches. House can't be pink. I'm painting that bitch. No lawn ornaments. Pink flamingos 4 days. The HOA would just take the house. Would they be able to if I just kept paying the fines? Just buy enough houses that you single-handedly could vote to disband the HOA, then sell them at reduced prices to meth addicts. Make sure you don't purchase the house of anybody who was in charge of the HOA beforehand. Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. A planetarium dome would be pretty cool. As much of the world's remaining natural habitats as I could afford, yep, and a small army of guards to protect the periphery. I would buy 400 acres in Montana, and I would just start building 1-to-1 replicas of spaceships from my favorite TV shows there. I could throw parties in 10 forward, and go to bed in my bunk on Serenity. I could wake up, eat in the breakfast nook on the Millennium Falcon, and spend my day playing Rocket League on the bridge of the Rosie. Fully strapped in, of course, and on warm afternoons in the summer, I'd go for a spin in the Argo conveniently stored in a shuttle bay of the Enterprise. All of the surroundings of this spaceship parking lot I would keep 100% natural and green. You would only be able to get in by invitation, or if you wanted to use my Serenity as a set to film another season of Firefly. I think I would call the place Innisfree Dry Dock after the Yeats poem, because it would be my refuge. A massive gemstone geode, something like the Empress of Uruguay amethyst one, to put in my hallway. A donkey who I would name Ronnie. I'd ride him through town wearing a tuxedo and a Viking helmet. I'd hire a team of scientists to develop a pillow that felt like boobs. Think it'd be cheaper to pay some women to just sleep on their breasts. Nah, because the body can get in the way. Sometimes you just need a nice pillow. Also, less weird. I feel pretty certain boob pillows are in fact more weird than actual boobs. The skeleton of the Elephant Man. I feel like you just said the weirdest shit you could possibly think of. Well done though. All of them. I'm filthy rich and I have no standards, but specifically, water slides from the upper floor of my house. ITT. A lot of chaotic good and chaotic neutral people who have been kept in check by their lack of funds. I'd buy all the Gucci and other expensive fashion designer clothes and directly give them away to the homeless and school children. $500 sandals. Fuck you. Homeless wear them. Bedazzled gold glasses. Yay. My niece has a pair just like them. You are not your fucking khakis. Also, a fleet of a couple thousand drones to do my other mischievous biddings in my personal Project Mayhem. Yes, hello. I would like to apply to be a part of Project Mayhem. I'm a mid-tier goon. I can load vans and provide classic crony lines such as good one boss and you tell them boss. I can provide my own outfit but am willing to dress in coordinated outfits. Just no spandex, must provide brass knuckles and alcohol. A massive aquarium setup, so big I could buy a canoe to move around in it, with various tropical fishes, and a few little islands scattered around, with ant colonies in them. Also, let's ride this train to Heart. I'd walk into a hospital and clear their books. No medical debt for y'all today. My friend told me the other day that when he becomes rich he's gonna immediately buy a massive bathtub in the middle of his bathroom that's shaped like a giant clamshell. Instead of a koi fish pond, I would want an axolotl pond, complete with walkways, bridges, and cherry trees to see these cute funny guys. I would have a large room, filled with comfortable surfaces and integrated passive lighting and speakers, optimized for good sound. The surfaces, both floor and walls, would react to the music, via vibration I guess, so that you kind of get moved around. The lighting creates an awesome atmosphere. I would listen to loud music, lying on the floor in there and probably enter heaven. As a bibliophile I would buy a complete antique library with wood panel walls, old leather chairs, a fireplace, antique leather bound books. Sigh. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, one lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.